Hello, I'm Lloyd Moyer, and I've just finished making this little maple bowl. It was roughed out a few months ago, and I finished it today. There was a little bit of an adventure in the middle, um, and you'll see that. But that's the video that you're going to watch today. So thanks for following me. Thanks for watching. Have fun. So today I'm going to be finishing out this piece of maple that I roughed out a couple of months ago. I checked the moisture on it, and the moisture meter said it was around 8%. So that should be just right. And I'm starting by mounting it in my jaws here, and I just need to give a little, make a little ridge on the inside so I can flip it around and do the outside. I think to start with, I am going to just going to even out the inside here just a little bit. Little catch was because I wasn't. The tool needs to be all the way over on its side when you enter. It needs to be all the way over like this, and I just had it open a little bit. I'm just giving myself a little ridge so that I can flip this around into. That looks like it might be too big. Give myself another one. So I can flip it around into my chuck and do the outside. One of those two should work. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to even out the bottom here. And as you can see, it distorted, it went oval, but it didn't really change the up and down shape all that much. So what was flat before is still pretty flat. All right. Just going to mark the diameter that I want my base to be here. And if I make the base that size, I'll be able to finish this. Finish the outside here, and then take the bowl directly out of the chuck jaws when I do the other side and not have any chuck marks. I'm just going straight in on that line. I don't need a huge amount of foot to grip that. The jaws are pretty good like that. Now let's just get some of the eccentricity out here. I'm actually going to switch to my 1/2 inch bowl gouge here and get myself a a finished cut. Also going to take the speed up. I was going at about 1,000, taking it up now to about 1575. It finishes very nicely. My only concern is it's not. It's so um, pristine. There's not a whole lot of uh, character, for lack of a better word. The wood is not very interesting. Means it'll be a good canvas for any kind of decoration or anything that I want to do. Um, Not a huge person, a huge guy for putting a whole lot of things on the surface of my bowls. It's just not cutting very well. Neither one of these gouges, I'm going to have to go and sharpen in a second. Just leaving myself that little ridge there. Okay. Such as it is, I'm just going to finish off the bottom here, give it a little bit of something on the base, so I have a little bit of ridge on the foot. And I think maybe this shoulder here could be a bead instead. Get my 3/8 my detail gouge. And I'm just cleaning up the upper rim because there's still some chainsaw marks on the upper rim that didn't get cleaned up when I was roughing out. So I'll take care of that. Okay. When I'm doing something like this, what I'm actually doing here is I'm taking the rim, the top part of the rim in a little bit to make this top band a bead, and I want the curve to flow through the bead. So I want it to look like the bead is sitting on top of the curve rather than um, being a part of it. It's harder than it sounds, but I'm watching up at the horizon here. That's needs to come down just a tiny bit more. Good. So now this bead is actually a little bit tall. That's better. I think maybe actually this could be two. Good. I'm all right with that. Then I just need to give a little bit of a shear scrape here up at the top. Make sure my curve is good. The shear scraper is really good for making sure you have a smooth curve. Takes all those bumps and ridges out. These beads are too tall for this small a bowl. Need to come down. I actually think I'm going to leave it back at 1 rather than 2. It'll be a little band rather than a bead. I know what you're thinking. I'm spending too much time on this tiny little bowl. But sorry, man. Like, everyone is important. I'm going to start this with 180 grit. What I think I might do now, what I'm thinking here is I have this flat band on here. When I go to finish, might take my wood burner and put a little decoration on that band. That might be cool. 220. And 320. The tiniest little line on the top side of this bead. This is my small Q-chisel here. And that took care of it. Going back to the 220 grit. You know, again, it's a tiny little space here, but when the bowl is done, the top of that bead is probably what you're going to see the most of. Love the way that finished out. Going to go in opposite direction and going back to 180 grit here. Don't be afraid to go back and resand if something isn't just right. Or not good enough. I did not put enough pressure on the work to did not put enough pressure on the turning of the outside here to adequately tighten the faceplate or the chuck, so it spun off. So now we have to clean all of this up. I am rather glad you got to see me botch something up there. I actually think this bead or this band is going to have to come off. And what I can actually do is I'm going to put an inset set of beads on here. So it's just a quick sharpening session with my 3/8 gouge here. So just a little inset bead here rather than one that sits up. I actually like that better. Back to sanding. good to me. I'm gonna burn those grooves. Just a little piece of like picture wire here. And you hold that in the groove, and it gives you that nice burn feature. Walnut oil. This is Mahoney's walnut oil and beeswax. No, I am not a paid advertiser for Mahoney's, just a happy customer. I'm going to go back to my 3/8 inch, or sorry, my 1/2 inch bowl gouge. 1/2 inch bowl gouge. In light of how long the outside of this took me when it really shouldn't have done, I feel the need to say, do not, if you can help it, overdo. When it's done, admit to yourself that it's done. And if it didn't take very long, don't argue with it. My bowl scraper. Good. Little bump in the middle. couple of little bumps there. Probably standing right in the way there. I'm sorry. Right. That's going to get sanded with the power sander, at least for the heavier grit. I think I need a new sandpaper. It's just a new sheet of 120 grit. Yep. So 180 now. With the 220 grit, I'm rounding over the inner lip just so that it's not sharp. Walnut oil. And oil and wax. Little lines right there. I'm actually going to go back and sand this again. I'm not happy with the finish in the end grain. Right in here, I want to get rid of it. When I said earlier that admit to yourself when it's done and don't overdo it, I did not, however, mean don't finish it right. better. Maple is really quite lovely.